So I've got Paul Larson and Jeff Guo with me today. So guys, introduce yourself and then kind of give us your backstory of what brought you into this asset class and what you got going on active at the moment as well.
Absolutely. All right, I'll go ahead. Yeah, so Chris Garris and I actually had a chance to meet, and we're part of a mastermind together, Legacy Family. We got to hang out, and our wives and family got to hang out a couple times, I think in Austin, Vegas, Orlando. So we've had some good times. And just glad to be on, and thanks for having us. But yeah, background has, I worked for corporate, ran a lot of sales teams, helped build out BMW, Jag, Land Rover, Cadillac, high-end dealerships. And I was recruited to come over and work for a real estate investment firm, and always loved real estate and had an opportunity to go over and help build a team. So built out acquisitions, dispositions teams, marketing, so on and so forth. And we did a bunch of wholesaling and flipping, and I absolutely loved it. But, spent just as many hours doing that as I did with corporate, away from the family, the kids, the wife, quite a bit, building something with someone else. Learned a ton, but just realized, hey man, I'm ready to build something that can be, freeing of my time to be with my kids, to be with my wife, to, travel, to like really enjoy life. And as I started, really digging in, multifamily, jumped out, and with the passive income, it really kind of helped build the lifestyle we're looking for. So fast forward a few years, I stepped out, started my own company, bought a couple hundred doors before I met Jeff. And Jeff and I actually met at Tim Bratt's event in 2020. And the same place like this, right? Where all the guys that are trying to do great things, guys and girls trying to do great things, go to. And we hit it off. We shared each other's background, and I love Jeff's background. And we just really, genuinely enjoyed each other's time at the event. And, we stayed in contact, and we did a small 5-unit deal. I was like, man, that was awesome. Let's do another one. So we did a 125 unit deal, and then a 48 unit deal, then another 100 plus unit deal. And 400 plus units later, we're still here and become brothers more than anything, quite honestly.
Man, that's awesome. So Jeff, tell me what led you up to that. Cause now we know you guys are for real rock stars. We just heard door count.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, long story short, quickly about my background, I spent the first 18 years of my life in China, born and raised, came to this country when I was 18 years old for college. So when I was 16, I remember going to high school in Shanghai, I came from a pretty entrepreneurial, family, and my family had this book on the table, purple book, right? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And they didn't tell me about it, and just was, oh, what is that? And open it up. That day when I was 16 is the day that, forever, my life path, I know it's going to be changed. And when other kids would take a physics book into class, I'll take Rich Dad, Poor Dad, reading it. Teachers, what are you doing, Jeff? I was like, guys, you cannot earn a W-2 income, and this is the way to do it. People look at me like alien, right? But that's when I know I want to do real estate. So fast forward, got my degree in finance and real estate in college, worked for a REIT, just really learned how,
wow,
big boy, big girl, they do their stuff, and just learn how the institution do their acquisition.
What did you do with that REIT exactly? What was your daily activities?
So it's a mid-sized REIT based in Washington, D.C. And my responsibility is asset management with the help of some acquisition as well. So it's a portfolio of roughly $350 million of commercial properties, mostly shopping centers, actually. So my daily is to make sure that the P&L checks out, the revenue, drive the revenue up, make sure the expenses in place. I did not asset manage a whole portfolio. Obviously, I report to my boss, who's the veteran in this industry. And also, when I was there, we have acquired a few projects about $160 million. So obviously I did not do that by myself. I get to see, how the industry veteran get to do that. So did that for a number of years. And fast forward, I started wanting to do my own real estate and start buying stuff on my own. And that's right around the time that Paul and I met, and the rest is, is history, like Paul said. So,
dude, I love I guess you just say bravery, for lack of a better word, the fact that you were able to transition into another country and then jump into such a major role with the REIT. I mean, when you think about, at least for me, when I think about moving up in the real estate world, I'm like, yeah, the REITs are the big boys. That's legit money right there. So that's impressive. So how do y'all work as your dynamic between the two of you guys? I mean, do y'all kind of just mix and mingle responsibilities, or do y'all separate the responsibilities up per asset purchase? How does that work?
Yeah. So I think that, it's important to add value on both sides. It's tough to have two Pauls or two Jeffs running around. So I like to think,
Right.
we add value very much so. We do a couple of things the same. We do them really well, but just give you an instance. So we both raise capital. So if we need X dollars raised, I usually raise half, he raises half, but whoever gets to it first, whatever needs to happen, we do that. We both get good deal flow. Jeff brings deals to the table. I bring deals to the table. I negotiate these deals. I get on the phone. That's my background, running a wholesale company, being in the dealerships and just negotiating has been my thing. So I negotiate the deals, get all the meat on the bone. Jeff analyzes them. He's a mad scientist. He uses his REIT background to really analyze these deals. He does them much better and faster than me. And I think hair stands up on the back of his neck when he gets to look at spreadsheets. So anything that has numbers, he loves. So, and I'm the opposite. I'm so ready to pass that off to him. Just tell me how much we need to pay for it, Jeff. And then I get on the phone and start negotiating. Once that happens, and again, Jeff and I are on the phone every day at 8 a.m. every single morning. We talk about our deals, what's going on, what's in the pipeline. But even most importantly, getting these deals that we already bought in full cycle. We take care of these deals. So we, like with his background in the REIT and analyzing and being the asset manager, I do really well with project management. I work with the contractors, making sure that we get the budget right, making sure the timelines are where they need to be to get this project underway and buttoned up so that we can fill the parks and have them producing the money. So I think we add a ton of value on both sides and mesh it very well.
I love it. So on the properties that you currently have, are these all with an understanding that you are going to keep them for a while, or do you have any that you're going to just turn and burn real quick so that you can move on to the next one?
Yeah, I mean, our mindset is, buy and hold, unless there's some special reason, which I could touch in a second, we like to buy, catch a refi to recycle the capital and then hold on to those deals longer term. For some of our bigger stuff that we bought in the last 6 to 9 months, unless we buy much bigger stuff, right, we like to hold on to them. But some of the smaller stuff, the first deal that point I ever done, a year and a half ago, the 5-unit, we actually offload that one. Nice profit, for both of us. And then the second deal we bought, we're actually in the process of selling that as well as 48-unit mobile home park. The reason being, right now, as crazy as it might sound, it's just too small for us because we spend a lot of time and energy and resources in a 40-unit as we're spending on a 125-unit, right? So it's just not a best return on our time, if you will. So we're in the process of offloading that. So who knows? 5 years from now, when I might be like, hey, let's offload some of those 125 units. But as of now, our mindset is, hey, if we can hold it and if it can be passive, we want to hold it.
Jeff, where do you live?
St. Augustine, Florida.
All right. And Paul, where do you live?
Spanish Fort, Alabama.
So what's that distance driving between y'all?
Was it like 8 hours, 7-8 hours, Jeff?
Yep, absolutely. And this is a beautiful thing, Chris, is I think it's one thing is the pandemic that forces that way, but also, my wife has been working from home in day one from 10 years ago, even before work from home is a real thing. So one quick thing I want to share with you, Chris, is that the last deal that we bought together, which has turned out to be our most lucrative deal, I was about 8,000 miles away. I was with my family in Hong Kong in quarantine for 21 days.
I remember seeing that on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. When we closed on that deal, right? When I say quarantine, if you step your foot outside the door, you're taken to the police station kind of quarantine, right?
Wow.
And gosh, man, Paul and I would be talking for, a few hours each day, and we close the deal with us about 8,000 miles apart as opposed to 5 or 6 hours. So that's the beauty about real estate and partnership and teamwork, and distance is not a thing,
So who did y'all both go and do the due diligence on that? I'm assuming y'all were right there at, signing portion while you were in Hong Kong. So were y'all both walking for the property for due diligence, or was that just you, Paul?
We walk together every time. We make it up, an event. So every time that we do that, we always stay for 2 to 3 days. We get to learn the market. If it's not, so we have properties in Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. So I know my backyard. Jeff knows his backyard, but we love the Gulf Coast because the seasonality, it stays warm practically all year. So parks, it's good for RV parks, if you will. We don't have cold months where they're shut down. But there's plenty of places in the Southeast that's not in our backyard. So we actually go, we learn the town, we learn the city, we learn, what are market comps. We drive the parks, we drive the apartments, we look at the surrounding area to really just get that feel. And it's fun. I mean, like I said, this is my brother here. So we make an event out of it. And it's better when we had 4 eyes and 4 ears, right? So we're there together as a team trying to have each other's back. We do it as a team.